it's worth getting. Any advantage is a good thing, no?
Ah! Eagle Bearer! I thought the gods might have forsaken Sparta, what with the Athenian vermin infesting our land. But seeing you here makes me think they've heard our prayers.
What do you need?
Those filthy Athenians have been pushing on our borders long enough. Join us on the battlefield, and send them to Hades where they belong.
I'll join you.
Good. We're glad to have you.
For Sparta! How do I get inside? I wonder if...
Who's there? Come out!
Hesitation only hastens.
The grave, I no matter.
Your form is improving. Your resolve is strong, but you're not taking action.
I was going to.
I know, but it's the moments in between that decide everything. Your turn.
Leonidas' spear.
You're old enough now. My father's spear holds a certain burden, but you're ready.
I felt something.
Huh?
The spear. It has magic.
Carries with it a long line of power. A bloodline of incredible heroes. The same blood within you and me and our family.
All of us?
Think of Leonidas. He had great courage, and he made a great sacrifice. You share in his blood and the strength he possessed. We are able to feel certain things happening around us. That is our family's gift. But not everyone understands that. Some recognize the power we bear and want it only for themselves. They will try to take it from us.
I won't let them.
I know. You're a warrior. If we keep moving forward, always moving forward, we're untouchable. Storm's coming in.
Then maybe we should move forward now.
Mater, I haven't forgotten you. By the gods! Who built all this? How does a place like this exist? How could I even explain this to someone like Marcos?
Forge activated. Synchronizing retransmission chronicity. Contact engaged.
Themos. The Forge.
I knew I let you stay in the Animus too long. Your vitals are crashing.
You don't understand. This confirms it. Alexios didn't just have Isu technology, he had the means to improve it. Imagine how powerful the staff could be.
I admit, that could be an incredible find. But right now, I'm the doctor, and I take care of you. Now get some rest before you go back to Alexios.
If you insist, but only because I've got work to do on the outside.
Please, just clear your head. The last thing we need is a cell leader suffering from the bleeding effect and spearing us because we're Hittites or Thracians.
I won't. The Thracians throw great parties.
Don't forget, we're a team. We'll back you up until you're finished your investigation.
I know. Kyoshi secured the loft yesterday and he's keeping an eye out. Elena's on call doing historical research.
And I'm here to talk if you're feeling any confusion from the Animus.
Always the therapist. So, Doctor, how do you feel now that we're closer than ever to the staff?
I believe this staff is important. But the Templars and Assassins have found staves of Eden before. Nikolai Tesla blew one up in Russia, if I remember correctly.
This is different. If what I saw in Egypt is true, this staff doesn't control minds. It controls physics, time. Imagine rewriting the rules of the universe.
The spear you found is right here, and it's not doing anything.
The spear's attached to a bloodline. Leonidas, Alexios, and Cassandra. They were intimately connected to it.
Are you sure you can use the Staff of Hermes, then?
No. But if the Templars get it, they won't stop until they find someone who can. So, what do you think of my new Animus?
You mean our new Animus? That's Abstergo equipment.
Which I've modified to within a millimeter of its digital life. It's an Animus console prototype, Brahmin variant with the I/O capacities pushed to their max. Ultra portable with more calculating power than NASA and CERN combined. I'll go stretch my legs. Too bad we don't have access to the Abstergo gym anymore, huh?
Membership costs too much.
Fascinating. Layla, can you believe we're meeting Herodotus himself?
I can. He sure does talk a lot.
Is there anything I can help you with?
So, does what I'm seeing as Alexios match your research? I had to tweak the Animus to use what we have of the book as a reference.
That book is a lost work by Herodotus. He basically invented the concept of recording history. And other figures are matching up too. Cleon, Pericles. The chance to see the past firsthand is why I joined the Assassins.
Most people would talk about justice or leaping across rooftops, but history's cool too.
I've loved history since my grandpa told me stories about his grandpa back in Ireland. He was an adventurer and sailor. So I'm continuing the family tradition. I feel so lucky.
You make your own luck, remember?
Why do people keep telling me that?
So I've met Herodotus, but I don't know much about him.
He's brilliant. His histories are considered the foremost textbook of classical Greece. People have made their careers analyzing his words for some new perspective. To see him in his own world, walking in the polis, and... Sorry, but he's kind of a hero of mine.
You can fangirl all you want.
Yay!
I'll leave you to your work.
If you need anything, just let me know.
Time to talk!
You're not hard to track.
Did you come alone? Are you all right? Cassandra, you're alive.
Don't touch me.
Oh, come on, little sister. You have to tell me everything. What's happened to you?
I don't have to tell you anything. I don't know you.
Well, I know you. It doesn't matter. There's more important things to argue about.
You're right. Like that stunt you pulled with the artifact. It got my attention, if that's what you wanted.
What? The artifact showed the truth. We're family. And we made it out of Sparta, alive.
Yes, it did show the truth. It confirmed what I always knew. You threw me off a fucking mountain!
I think it's that simple. Come on, Cassandra. Let's talk about it.
Stop calling me that! I already know what happened that night.
Right, Demos. Now her, I don't know.
She's a demigod. Worshipped and feared by the cult and all the Greek world.
Then why do the cult's bidding?
Have you been paying attention? They're following my lead.
Then make a choice on your own. Help find our mater.
I'm not interested in reunion. I just want to know what you think you're doing.
Same thing as your cult. Looking for Myrrine, our mother.
They don't need her.
Your cultists think differently. She's their next target.
If they ever pursued her, it would be to kill her. But if you don't know where she is, that means she abandoned you too. How sad.
Trail. Send them after me instead.
You really do like attention. They'll be after you soon enough, not to worry. And they'll dominate you.
They'll have their work cut out for them.
I doubt it. The family will be exterminated.
If it's true they're after us, tell them they'll never find Nikolaos. He's off the map. Trust me, I've searched myself.
If I could find you, the other long-lost child of Nikolaos, then I can find him. And when I do, he'll wish he was thrown off that mountain.
I don't care what you think. I'll find Myrrine. Do the right thing. Come with me.
What?
We could find her. Together. You could help me.
Oh, you think friendship is the answer? Running around like lost children looking for dear mother. You're so weak.
It's responsibility, not weakness. I won't abandon the whole family just for spite.
Responsibility? Get off your high horse. The cult has a plan, and it won't be interrupted by the likes of you.
The cult let Myrrine live. They let Nikolaos live. Why kill them now?
Because you live. You brought this on her and yourself. The cult is powerful, but they're mortals. I have the blood of gods, so they think you do too. But they'll see how wrong they are.
Taking your own mother isn't enough for them.
We're not abductors. We're political. Those who don't stand with us stand against us, and they pay for that mistake.
Like me?
Like you. I heard you're planning a trip to Athens. When you go, tell Pericles and his elitist scum. They're next.
I'm going after the cult, you know.
You've seen our numbers. You've seen what I can do, and you still think you stand a chance?
Try me.
So having guts runs in the family, does it? You claim we have the same blood, so let's see what you can do.
You're being an asshole.
You'll have to be stronger than that.
Demos! Malaka.
Herodotus. He needs to know about this.
Well, was the legend true? Was it magnificent? What happened to you? And your spear?
Slow down, Herodotus. My spear's stronger now. I can feel it. You were right. There was some kind of artifact there. It showed me a vision of me and my mother.
So, the ancient civilization is real. Alexios, you have no idea the power you possess. All harnessed in Leonidas' spear.
That's not everything. Demos followed me here. The cult's already moving, she told me herself. They're going after us. My family. Pericles.
Why would she tell you? Unless it was a trap.
It doesn't matter. We have to get to Athens to warn Pericles. And we need to find my mother before they do.
Then, we go to the Pnyx. If Pericles is anywhere, he's there.
Activated. Synchronizing retransmission chronicity. Contact engaged. Forge activated. Synchronizing retransmission chronicity. Contact engaged.
The Spartans may draw near to our walls, but we must come together now for the glory of Athens!
Glory for you!
Friends, please! Just because the Spartans are near our walls does not mean we can act like them! A good crop! Shame the Spartans burned the fields where it grew! The Parthenon is glorious, Pericles, but at what cost? How many triremes could we have built instead?
We must not become divided!
We are divided, and the Spartans are winning! Act, Pericles, or I will!
Oh, good. You came. Things are worse than I feared. Cleon has turned the mob. We have to hurry.
Where?
To Pericles.
Stay back!
He's no threat to Pericles. I assure you.
Ah, Herodotus. It's fine. Let them through.
It's good to see you again, Pericles.
And you as well. I only wish it were under better circumstances. And who's this?
Alexios.
Welcome, Alexios. And what did you think of your first taste of Athens?
I think you did a great job.
It's so easy to forget the good someone has done when times become hard.
Pericles, we've come to...
We must choose our moment wisely and speak our words more privately.
Fine. We've come to you on urgent business.
As does everybody.
I may have told Alexios you'd invite him to your symposium.
You'd ask me to exclude every Athenian and invite an outsider instead. You heard the crowd. They don't need another reason to hate me.
If he's working for you, maybe the prying eyes will see him as a servant.
I'm no one's servant.
Alexios, this is Athens. If you want something, sometimes you have to play a role.
And what exactly is it that you want?
For a woman who's very important to me. Herodotus said a symposium could be useful for gaining information.
He would be correct. I can get you in, although I can't promise the information you seek will be found.
Just tell me what to do.
First, check on my colleague, Mediochos. He was meant to meet me today, and it's not like him to miss an appointment.
Done.
My friend, Phidias, needs to be taken out of Athens as soon as possible.
Anything else?
Yes. There's an ostracism vote taking place that could use your influence.
Metiochos, you said he was your colleague?
A politician and ally. He's one of my most loyal friends.
Phidias, the famous sculptor? What did he do exactly?
He stands accused of multiple offenses and is awaiting trial. You'll find him under close guard at his workshop.
Ostracism?
Exile is a term you may be more familiar with. Here in Athens, we vote between two people to decide who should leave.
It's between the sophist, Anaxagoras, and another man, on trial for impiety. My contact near the Agora will give you the details.
I'll do it.
I'll expect you to use discretion.
That went well. It isn't exactly an invitation, but the promise of one is just as good. Although I'm sure he'll still ask Aspasia if it's okay.
So long as it comes.
Blessed be the god that sent you here. I'd have been eaten alive if it weren't for you.
I don't think they'd eat you.
But they would have certainly killed me. So thank you.
Happy to help someone in need.
The world could do with more like you. Especially now.
Pericles sent me. He was worried about you. Do you often get tied up and surrounded by snakes?
How can you joke about this? Thugs broke into my home, dragged me here, tied me up and surrounded me with these hideous creatures. They must be stopped.
The snakes?
The thugs!
Why would anyone do this?
Politicians are easy targets in these troubled times. When they tied me up, they said I was a snake. That I should die by my own kind.
Did you recognize the people who did this?
Pericles asked me to go down to the fishing district and talk with the poor and sick, to give them hope. That's how I recognized their voices.
Oh yes.
They threw rotten food and yelled insults at me. These thugs disguised their faces, but their voices and the stench of fish were unmistakable.
Where should I look?
I couldn't see their faces, but I recognized their voices from one of the districts I visited. They're regulars at Cleon's rallies. They live in the flooded part of the city, near the wall.
I'll track them down, Metiochos. Don't worry.
Tensions are high right now. At this rate, we'll tear each other apart within the city before the Spartans can breach the walls.
This must be the house of Metiochos' attackers. But the letter proves they're just tools in someone else's plan. Whose?
What the fuck are you doing sniffing around my house?
You attacked Metiochos. I found the snakes, the letter from your friend, and a body. All here.
Ah, Boraktis. We all knew the risks. Change don't happen without a bit of blood being spilled.
You can't take the law into your own hands. Now I need to decide what to do with you.
Cleon says it's time we took the city back from the elite. Time to fight. Don't matter what you do to us. There will be others who follow our lead.
Why kill Metiochos with snakes?
We're prisoners in our own city. Because of Pericles and his crooked friends. The snake dealer told us it's time to send a message. Time they suffered.
I know someone gave you those snakes. They used you to do their dirty work. I want to know who.
He's a real hero of Athens. No puppet of Pericles is going to stop him.
Don't be someone's puppet. Tell me where the snake dealer is.
All right, all right. He's got a camp just outside the walls. Sells his snakes from there.
It's not too late to make a difference, but we have to work together.
Maybe you're right. You didn't have to show us mercy. But where do we start?
Start here. This district is your home. Ignore the politicians and concentrate on where you can make change.
Thank you. We will try.
I need to rid Athens of this snake seller. Looks like your situation's improved since we last met.
The danger has passed for now. But while those monsters are out there, no one is safe.
A group of fishermen tied you up. They were being used by a snake dealer working for enemies of Athens.
What did you do with them?
I showed them the error of their ways and sent them on their way. They won't be bothering you again.
I'm glad no blood was shed. But how do you know they won't return?
I made it very clear that doing anything stupid would make me angry.
Well, that must have been a terrifying experience for them. Thank you for your help, Misthios. I'll be sure to mention this to Pericles.
Stop. I can't let you go any further.
It isn't often you see a guard outside of an artist's workshop.
I just do what I'm told, stranger. And until I'm told otherwise, no one is going in or out.
Stand aside. This is important.
So is keeping people out. Maybe you can see Phidias after his trial, if the people spare his life.
Phidias and I have been friends for a long time. I'm leaving Athens, and I don't know if I'll ever see him again.
You won't. And if you want to leave Athens in one piece, you'll go.
Now. Everyone has a price. How much drachmae is this going to take?
Depends how much you have.
I tried to be nice. I really did.
Keep it moving.
Sorry about that.
How did you get past the guard? No one gets past the guard.
Relax. Pericles sent me.
Praise Athena. I knew he'd send help. I was worried they sent someone after me.
Get you out of Athens.
So he knows about the plot.
You mean the trial? From what I've seen, you don't stand a chance.
Pah, the people love me. I am the Phidias. But there are others. Look.
Malaka. It isn't a trial Pericles is saving you from. These are instructions to murder you. Who wrote this?
I don't know who to trust. I'm just an artist. I just wanted to create. Please, what am I to do?
First, you need to pull yourself together. You're on trial. The people are against you. And now I find that the cult want to kill you. I said pull yourself together.
Yes, of course.
Cleon said you're wasting the people's drachmae. If he had his way, he'd serve them your head.
Cleon mentioned me? That's going to hurt Pericles. First impiety, now theft. After all we've done for this city.
You and Pericles seem close.
For Pericles and me, it started with our love of Athens. Our differences push us to greatness. That is true friendship.
All right, we need to go. Do you have any idea where I can take you?
South of Athens, there's an island called Seriphos. My friend Theras lives there. When I discovered the plot against me, I sent word to him. If anyone can help us, he can.
Good. Any clues he has of the cultists' identities, I want them.
Yes, anything. A guard.
I'll distract them while you sneak out. Meet me tonight to set sail for Seriphos. Don't show your face until you see me at the docks.
I understand.
You didn't really think I'd let you come and go as you please, did you? Now.
Good. You made it. I was beginning to worry.
I told you I'd get you out of Athens.
So you did.
Can your friend be trusted?
Theras and I have been friends for a long time. I just sent word telling him where to meet us.
Wasting time will only get us into trouble. Let's head to Serifos while we still can.
Not another.
You must be the one Pericles sent.
I am. He said there is an ostracism vote, but didn't tell me what I'm here to do.
Of course he didn't. That's what I'm for.
If someone is exiled, can they return?
If they do, they'll be punished.
What does someone have to do to be ostracized?
Anyone seen as a threat to the city or the people is enough. And then it is up to the vote. Some have been ostracized for simply being more disliked than the person they're up against.
What's my role in this?
The votes have already been cast. We don't have long before they're counted. Take the Ostraka in this bag and exchange them with the ones currently under guard.
You want me to rig the ostracism?
Pericles does. And he has his reasons, I'm sure. Bring me the bag you took from the room and I'll take care of the rest.
No one will see me go in or out. Stay here.
I apologize for the delay. There was evidence someone attempted to tamper with the votes. Don't worry. The Ostraka are all accounted for. The votes were counted, and Anaxagoras is to be ostracized.
Be slow to fall into friendship, but once you do, continue firm and constant. It will be more difficult for me now that Anaxagoras must leave Athens. We were quite close, although he and Pericles were much closer. It's strange, Pericles wasn't here today to defend him.
You said you were close.
He was like a mentor to me. Many of my best thoughts came to fruition through our conversations.
Would Pericles normally defend someone?
A good friend? Of course. Yet, Anaxagoras seems pleased with the result. This day has brought more questions than answers.
Who are you?
Ask anyone and they'll tell you Socrates. But a name gives you nothing. Our actions determine who we are, and every action has its pleasures and its price. With that said, then, who do you claim to be?
My name is Alexios.
And still, I don't feel I know you. Perhaps I can find out who you are a different way.
You want to know me?
Knowledge is the one good in this world. Surely you agree?
Of course. Knowledge drives everything I do.
Then we are the same in that way.
Knowledge of when to attack, what weapon to use, or when to use reason instead of violence.
We seem to put our love of knowledge into practice quite differently.
I use it how I need to.
You are clearly someone who would do whatever you feel is necessary. Perhaps for drachmi, or maybe to further a personal goal.
That describes a lot of people.
I suppose I'm curious why you did it. How could I not be when you're the reason my friend is being forced to leave the only home he's ever known?
I did what I was asked to do.
And your needs are greater than those of the man you helped ostracize. Still, you raise a fine point. Who is more responsible? Anaxagoras for getting himself mixed up in this? Or you, for simply sealing his fate?
Fine. I'm more responsible. But I did it because I have one concern. myself.
Then I hope you also think about today, about Anaxagoras' friendship. But once you do, continue firm and constant. It will be more difficult for me now that Anaxagoras must leave Athens. We were quite close, although he and Pericles were much closer. It's strange, Pericles wasn't here today to defend him.
Would Pericles normally defend someone?
A good friend? Of course. Yet, Anaxagoras seems pleased with the result. This day has brought more questions than answers.
Who are you?
Ask anyone and they'll tell you Socrates. But a name gives you nothing. Our actions determine who we are, and every action has its pleasures and its price. With that said, then, who do you claim to be?
My name is Alexios.
And still, I don't feel I know you. Perhaps I can find out who you are a different way.
You want to know me?
Knowledge is the one good in this world. Surely you agree?
Of course. Knowledge drives everything I do.
Then we are the same in that way.
Knowledge of when to attack, what weapon to use, or when to use reason instead of violence.
We seem to put our love of knowledge into practice quite differently.
I use it how I need to.
You are clearly someone who would do whatever you feel is necessary. Perhaps for drachmi, or maybe to further a personal goal.
That describes a lot of people.
I suppose I'm curious why you did it. How could I not be when you're the reason my friend is being forced to leave the only home he's ever known?
I think you have the wrong person.
You are claiming that you're the wrong person? Life's one true happiness is knowing yourself.
Even if I did know who rigged the ostracism vote, I wouldn't tell you.
And yet, I never said anyone rigged anything.
Socrates! There you are.
Here I am.
You're late. They're all waiting for you.
I wish to see Anaxagoras' fate, and so I have. Tell them I'm on my way. Well, it seemed our conversation is at its end. Although I hope it isn't the final one we have.
I wouldn't know.
Ah! Eagle Bearer! I thought the gods might have forsaken Sparta, what with the Athenian vermin infesting our land. But seeing you here makes me think they've heard our prayers.
What do you need?
Those filthy Athenians have been pushing on our borders long enough. Join us on the battlefield and send them to Hades where they belong.
Sparta has my sword, and all my strength behind it.
Glad to hear it. May Ares favor us today. The mighty warrior with the broken spear. Your timely arrival puts us in the perfect position for a push on Athenian borders. If you'll join us on the battlefield, of course.
You have my sword, Spartan.
Excellent. Today is a lousy day to be an Athenian.
It's good to see you alive and well, Phidias.
And you, Theras. As you can see, I didn't get here alone.
Ah, yes. The kind and thoughtful hero you mentioned in your letter.
I'm glad I could get him out alive.
And for that heroism, I found some information on a man named Brisson who's plotting Phidias' early demise. Hopefully you can make something of this clue.
I can.
Please give Pericles my thanks and my farewell. And be careful. I still believe many in Athens are in danger.
Alexios, it's you!
Phoebe?
You said you weren't coming back to Kefalonia, so I decided to leave too.
I said I wouldn't be coming back, but I don't remember saying you should leave.
Well, here I am.
How did you even get here, Phoebe?
Well, I did make some drachmi working for Marcos.
So you paid someone to bring you to Athens?
Not exactly.
Phoebe...
I needed a drachmi for when I arrived. I couldn't use it all to leave, and I didn't want to wait any longer. So I sneaked on a ship. Don't worry, nobody saw.
I just can't believe you made it.
I don't remember much of Athens from when I was a baby. But every once in a while, something feels familiar. It's nice.
I can't believe you're here.
Me either. I can't believe we both made it to Athens. It's so much different from Kefalonia.
But what are you doing here?
I'm here to get you ready. I have to make sure you leave all your weapons and change into these clothes.
So, you somehow work here? For Pericles?
No, for Aspasia.
How is it you're working for Aspasia?
Well, I did get into a little bit of trouble after I got to Athens. I may have been a leader of a small group of orphans that tried to cheat Aspasia. We didn't know it was her, though.
And you convinced her to hire you?
No, she asked me on her own.
That was lucky. I don't understand why I have to change.
It's just what you do here. I felt weird at first, but you forget about it pretty fast.
And my weapons?
Don't worry, I'll take care of them. You don't want to scare people in there.
Well... I think I'm ready to go in.
You can't! Not like that, anyway. The Athenians like it best when you try to fit in. But don't worry, I have just the outfit for you.
There's no way I'm wearing that.
But if you don't...
I mean it, Phoebe.
You have to leave your weapons here, though.
Fine.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Is that everything?
You're all ready to go in. Don't worry, you've done scarier things than this.
I'm struggling to think of any right now. Are you sure I can't keep just one weapon with me?
No weapons. Now hurry and go in. Oh, and don't leave without saying bye.
Here, Alexios. The mighty mercenary and traveler has finally made his grand entrance. Only slightly late, too.
Herodotos. Athenians have no problem letting me know when I'm not welcome. It's a relief to see your friendly face.
Don't let the company here tonight intimidate you.
I won't.
Pericles is no king. He needs these guests to love him so that the people love him. And they, in turn, need Pericles. You're no different from any of them.
Do you really think these people will help me?
Perhaps your individual fashion sense would get their memories working. Now then, let me introduce you to everyone. They may not look it, but this group holds the way to the future on the tip of their opinionated tongues. Ah, Sophocles and Euripides, for example. Two of the most celebrated playwrights to date. No one can throw stones as far as they can. They appear to be locked in some kind of intellectual struggle. as is their way.
He's a writer of comedies, of all things. Comedies, every peedies.
It looks more like a lover's quarrel to me.
Hermipos has also written his fair share of comedies.
You should drink more.
Lately, his attitudes have garnered him more notice than his works. However, the fellow beside him, Protagoras, is a sophist worthy of as much praise as the great Socrates himself.
I'm not sure great is the term I would use.
Oh, don't let Socrates get under your skin. At least he wore shoes for the occasion. And the poor thing gesticulating like an ape is Thrasymachos. If you listen closely, you'll notice he and Socrates are actually arguing the same points. But the wind from his wild gestures deafens him to critique.
That isn't at all what I mean. Where is Pericles?
Oh, he never attends his own parties. Which reminds me, there's something I need to get his help with.
Vile Socrates, always appearing where I least expect him. Warrior, protect me from his amorous gaze. Oh, Alcibiades, this is not a time for jealousy, but for love.
Let's not use Alcibiades as an example. Be good, and don't drink too much. So, tell me, what does a Mystios like you think of a party like this?
It could be fun. Alcibiades drinks like a Spartan. Maybe he fights like one too.
If I could suggest anything, please don't start a fight, or end one.
Thank you, Herodotus.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Pericles is here somewhere, and I need to prepare him. If he's alone, I'll tell him what your sister said.
Pericles needs to know. I'll stay here and look for clues.
I hope they know something about your mother.
Me too.
I only use these terms, war, gods, civility, etc., in context of what we can observe. I can see soldiers fighting, sure, but does that really bring me any closer to understanding war?
A Mystios? At this party? Well, at least you're someone new to talk to.
We can talk? What about?
Before Protagoras changed the subject, we were talking about the next great leader of Athens, Cleon.
Speaking at the Pnyx. He's a real man of the people.
So, you have a taste for politics. That's certainly better than most of the elitist blowhards in this house.
I take it you and Pericles aren't friends.
Hardly. Hermipos led the Tsars to have Aspasia ostracized and to see Pericles stripped of power. Not that it worked.
Yet. Pericles is the past. He's more worried about losing a few precious statues than he is fighting and winning the war. Cleon will rule this city and return it to greatness. Mark my words.
I'm looking for clues to help me find a woman. She was Spartan.
Looking and finding are quite different things, wouldn't you say? I could observe a priest offering sacrifice to the gods, but does that mean, in so doing, that I have myself found God? Or...
Oh, forget it. If you're an ally of Cleon, why would Pericles invite you?
You're not from Athens, outsider. Here, we keep our enemies closest of all.
Why isn't Aspasia here?
Can you be certain she isn't? To observe her presence is still no guarantee that she is here.
In my opinion, It's just like her to cower in the shadows while we stand out here in the light.
This has been useless. Here.
Έλεγε ότι οι Έλληνες γαρίδες έστειλε το δεσπότης να γελάσει τον κόσμο. Ονειρίστο μετέβη ξεχωριζόμενη εντάπητα. Η αγορά πληθύσα ύψα. Έναν εξάδελφο κακός της φορεσίζεως. Κακίνος που κερδεύσε με πλενός κοινό. Πες την ώστε σου χαιρετίζει. Φορά άπαντας διεύθυνς, πεφέρει την ουρά του κοινός και λέγος η εκκλησία μεταχείρων συμμοριτών των γονιών μου εξοικίας
Amistios in Pericles' abode? I never thought I'd see the day. You must have seen me doing my impression of Hermipos. I call it the dejected weasel. Tell me, what does it think?
I am called many things. It isn't one of them.
What do you call yourself then? Creature of many names?
Alexios.
I wouldn't peg you as an Alexios, but never mind. I'm Aristophanes, and this man is Euripides. Oh, go on. Introduce yourself.
I'm Euripides.
For a playwright, you're not much for words.
Good men lead quiet lives, as old Euripides likes to say. Don't you, Euripides? Now, if you'll excuse us, I was just about to dazzle this old dog with my impression of Pericles. I call it the wooden board.
The man is your host.
Under every stone hides a politician, I always say. And Pericles is no different. It's come back for more. Care to see my impression of Protagoras? I call it the flapping bladder.
I'm sure he wouldn't.
Well, if you'll excuse us, I'm working on my impression of you. I call it the pretty monkey. Care for another impression? My favorite is Sophocles.
That one isn't funny.
Well, if you'll excuse us, I'm working on my impression of you. I call it the pretty monkey. Care for another impression? My favorite is Sophocles.
That one isn't funny.
Well, if you'll excuse us, I'm working on my impression of you. I call it the pretty monkey.
Amistios? Here? I suppose they've sent you to mock me for my fight with Euripides.
Lots of fights. That wasn't one.
I really made a fool of myself this time, didn't I? I'm Sophocles, though I'm sure you knew that. And you are?
I am looking for information that will help me find someone. A Spartan woman.
A Spartan woman in Athens. Sounds intriguing. Though, if you expect me to notice someone other than myself, you expect too much. You could talk to Euripides. He's the second most worldly man here. That pediculous, xanthodontus exophthalmic Morosov. But he doesn't talk without a drink.
I have no idea what that meant.
No, you don't.
We get him drunk, and he talks. He sounds more Argive than Athenian.
Impressive, foreigner. Euripides is from Argos.
All right, if nothing else, this party could use the help.
You need to pick the right wine for this task. The kitchen should have what you need. Let me know when Euripides is done in, and I'll slip away unseen.
How do you know Pericles?
I believe you mean to ask me, how does Pericles know you? I'm the greatest dramatist in the land, mentor to Euripides, lover of Asclepios, father of theater, and so on, and so on.
I'm sure it's a real honor to have you hiding in his kitchen. You're awfully worked up over Euripides. You sure you're just friends?
I'm never just anything, foreigner. Though I confess, Euripides and I hold a bond deeper than brotherhood. Why he slams it with a banal young plaything, Aristophanes, I will never know.
I'll get the wine.
Wonderful. Now, if you want some friendly advice, Aristophanes cannot stand sweet wine. I've seen what it can do to him. Absolutely, horrifyingly delightful.
It wouldn't be a party without someone losing their stomach. I'll let you know if your plan worked.
You shouldn't be in here. What do you want?
I'm here for your sweet wine.
Yes, take it. But get out of my kitchen. I'm very busy, you know.
Care for another impression? My favorite is Sophocles.
That one isn't funny.
When I need to relax, I start to fight. For you, though...
Quickly! Bring him some wine so that he might say something clever.
After my argument with Sophocles, I think I'd rather keep my head clear.
Could both use a drink. Let's play a game.
A competition?
Ah, wonderful idea. Euripides seems quiet, but he never turns down a challenge.
Well, if you brought us some wine, I wouldn't be opposed to showing this young one how we Argives drink.
Because I'm searching for someone.
And yet it gave us the distinct impression it was here to fill our wine. Let's focus on that first, shall we?
Why don't you just apologize to Sophocles?
It's he who should apologize to you.
Sophocles is a friend, and one good friend is worth an entire family. He just needs time to recover from his outburst.
Pericles has invited all of you here for some reason.
Either we dine here and praise Pericles, or we dine with Cleon. But Cleon has all the charm of a typical politician. A horrible voice, bad breeding, and vulgar manners.
Let's conjure Dionysos, shall we?
This is pure swill.
Amateur. In my day, this would be considered nectar of the gods. Another round!
Ready for more?
I can hardly stomach this pig's piss.
I could outdrink both of you with one hand. Let's have some more!
You ready for another?
This wine is terrible.
I like you. Who brought you here?
I brought myself. I'm on the trail of a woman who fled Sparta a long time ago.
Fled? Why?
She lost 2 children. She had no choice.
She fled to heal a broken heart. Euripides, write her into a play.
I've heard Spartan mothers go to a sanctuary in Argolis to beg Asclepios for his divine pity. I should know, it's my home.
After what she went through, I'm not sure she would trust priests.
Oh, then she sought my friend, Hippocrates. He's a physician.
best of the best. He still keeps his office in Argos. If she went to him for help, there's no doubt he'd have given it.
I love getting drunk and singing. Come back if you want to sing with me.
I'll think about it. Hippocrates in Argos. Here I come.
Dionysus, there you are. Everyone else here is boring. Let's play a singing game. You like to sing? You like to sing.
What did you have in mind?
One of us will sing, then the other, and then back again. We'll take turns making verses, and whoever makes the best is the winner.
Let's do this.
I want to play too, but who should start?
I think you should, Aristophanes.
Fine, fine. But let's do a good one. A battle song?
Is there any other kind?
At the flick of a limb comes Aspasia's whim, and Pericles' walls aim to contain us all within.
The Spartan hordes outside eat your cattle and children alive. They dance at your walls. They don't train, but they squall.
Pericles guarantees death for us all.
Oh, so bring your merchants and bring their butlers. If they be sons, they bring their fathers. This is war, war, war.
Bring your murderers to the crimson quiver. Bring the helots if they be spillers. It is war, war, war.
Without our fathers and mothers, we row straight to Hades or the belly of Milos. We are alone, and so we row. For a short life we row, row, row.
The stupid sweepers, the genius teachers, all just meats and juice and liver.
For when our wars are done, after lives are lost and blood has run, we must rejoin our broken daughters and our sons. Reunited together, we will be one.
Enough, enough! You're a great singer.
The best! You should act in my plays.
Here, take this to remember the occasion. This party has turned out much better than I ever could have expected. How's Euripides? Drunk, I hope.
You can stop hiding in here. Euripides won't notice you coming out. He won't notice anything.
Hiding? Heed this. War has come to Athens. First they take our homes, then they take our heads. I intend to be found with at least my dignity intact. Or what's left of it anyway. If you see Pericles, tell him I said thank you for another colorful evening.
Yes, you come and talk to this infuriating air brother. I've had my fill.
Perhaps later. First, explain to me your point again. And so it isn't the rich and powerful, but the gods who are the source of justice?
What? No! Have you been listening to nothing I say?
Someone's being hurt.
Open this door!
Hero, kick it in!
Don't mind her. She likes to watch. Look at you. Such authority. Such aggression. I can see why Pericles has taken such an interest in you. Did you come to join us?
It sounded like someone was in pain.
Well, it can sometimes be hard to distinguish between sounds of pleasure and pain. Had I known you were going to knock, I would have left my door wide open for you. Sounds like we can help each other then, doesn't it? You fetch us a bit of oil, I help you find who you're looking for. Maybe they're in here.
She's not in there.
I think I'll check all the same.
Bearing gifts.
We're saved! Today, these women grieved for their sons, and these men worked the wall. But tonight, we forget all of that. Let's have some fun! What do you say? Care to join us?
Now it's time for you to help me, Ali. I'm looking for someone.
All business right until the end. I like that.
Focus. I'm looking for a woman who fled Sparta a long, long time ago.
Fled Sparta? No one flees Sparta. But let's pretend she did. If she were stupid, she'd be dead. If she were smart, she'd do what Aspasia did. She'd earn her independence. The smartest and most resourceful women I've ever met have been in Corinthia.
I've heard they play some sort of role in Corinth, but I assumed it was the same as any other city.
Oh, no. These women are unlike any other you'll meet. A force, and the only ones there with any smarts. Ali! Come back inside! Ooh, the celebration continues. When you reach Corinth, find Anthusa. No one goes in or out of the city without her knowing. Until we meet again, warrior.
Anthusa in Corinth. It's not much, but it's a start.
Ah, if it isn't the one who agrees that knowledge is most important.
I think we agreed our use of that knowledge couldn't be more different.
Ah, you remember. Perhaps our conversation can continue.
You really intend to use this young destruction to avoid the point being argued?
You've been arguing a single point all night and no one has a black eye? You have my attention.
We're discussing the nature of rulers. Where better to do so than here? I'll ask you the same question I asked Thrasymachos. Would you agree that the act of ruling is an art?
It is an art, as all worthy undertakings are. That is not up for argument.
Yet, medicine is for the betterment of the patient, and not the physician. Carpentry improves the building, not the builder. Then, is the art of ruling not for the betterment of the ruled rather than the ruler?
Don't be absurd!
Enough of the world to know that there are no just rulers. Even Pericles is self-serving.
Is a Spartan general who brings order to his troops, thereby saving his own life, self-serving? I'm not sure that's the case.
Ruling a city and fighting in battle are different things.
By practicing the art of war, doesn't the general guarantee some of his troops a ferry ride to Hades, when a swift retreat would save all their lives?
just said a general isn't self-serving when he brings order to his troops. Then you said he is self-serving because retreating would save the lives of his men. What are you trying to say?
I never tried to say anything.
But you just said those things.
I said the words, but I didn't say anything at all. I only attempted to gain your view on the matter.
You're wasting your time.
Aspasia.
I couldn't help but notice your talent for debate. Well done.
Socrates is an interesting character.
Ah, Phoebe. Pericles has retired to the balcony already, has he? His ability to sneak off and sulk is second to none.
I can go get him, and Alexios can help. Everyone listens when he talks.
That'll be fine. Run along. Alexios will be right behind you. Now, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Aspasia. I had to go to great lengths to cover up your work in Megaris.